Welcome to the second episode of Teacher vs. Student Podcast. This is your host, Mr. Waddell, followed by...
Caden Peterson, myself.
You are yourself. In the room, we have doubled our audience.
No, it's not doubled. It's more like tripled, quadrupled, because we're popular now.
Well, apparently, within the last 6 days, word has gotten around, and we are up to 17, count them, 17 subscribers. Now, as far as the YouTube community goes, 17 subscribers is quite abysmal.
Wow, it's legendary.
But for our audience, I think that 17 subscribers, I think we're up to like 70 views, maybe? Something like that. I think that's pretty good. This is taken off way better than I thought it would. So anyways, yes, I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah, 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 blah. We probably got about 20 students in here for our live audience. Live audience, give yourselves a round of applause. So instead of Caden yelling at us about Lucy, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start off with a couple topics that I was thinking about while watching Cosmos today. And the first question I have has nothing to do with Cosmos. It has more to do with this idea of quote-unquote sports. Why, in the name of all that is holy, do people love sports so much? I do not understand. I was forced to create an NAACP. What is it? NCAA?
Yeah, there you
NCAA. Oh for 1. Okay, NCAA bracket, and I had no idea what I was doing. Can somebody give me some insight as to why people love sports so much? Toddy, can we start off?
Yes, because of the competition, people try to get better every day, and people like to watch it for something entertaining if they're couch potatoes. Can you tell us who you picked to win?
I do not remember.
I'll tell you.
I think it was...
UConn, right?
Yes, it was UConn. Which I believe
team that already lost.
Is that University of Connecticut?
Yes.
Okay, I didn't really know.
Wait, Todd. You said like because they're couch potatoes. What about those really angry, larger fans that they just drink and drink and drink and then they yell?
My dad.
Opposite.
I have no idea.
Was your dad like a big jock in high school and he's reliving his memory, or was it like?
No, he said he was a fat kid.
So he's trying to live as if he were a jock. I was just curious.
Were you a jock?
I was not a jock. I was
Really?
I was considered a floater.
A what?
Which is another way of saying I didn't have a group. Now, in my perspective, it's like, yeah, I don't have a group. But to everybody else, it's like, oh, there's that kid again. He doesn't have a group. The kid who doesn't have a group.
No. He was the guy. He was like, he did science football. So like every time he nailed an experiment, touchdown! Woo!
He doesn't even know the terms.
I know the terms, okay?
Really?
Yes, don't worry.
What is that white line? Name two.
That's my line.
The white line in which sport?
Football.
Football. They're all white.
It's the 3-point line.
How do you get a home run?
Ryan.
How many points is a touchdown worth? Subject.
Points and a touchdown. Well, you want to call it 3. Just kidding. I know it's 6, and when you get a touchdown, you are allowed the possibility for a field goal, or you can run it in. Is that correct?
Yeah, or pass it in.
Fantastic. Nolan.
Okay, so I think part of the deal is like patriotism because I don't know, kind of gives you something to root for. Like, yeah, Vikings, like Minnesota represents. Then everybody else in like the country is like focusing on you. Like, I don't know. I think it's kind of part of that.
It gives you some kind of community to be part of. Okay, I can understand that.
Nexus is Minnesotans or whatever state you're in.
Jesse.
Well, when I went to Vegas, we went and my brother bet on a game, and when he went there, the guy in front of him collected $9,000. So I think a part of it is winning a lot of money.
Wait, how do you win money by going to a sports game?
So what he did is he put $4,500 down on the team that he thought would win.
Oh, so illegal betting. Gambling.
Pretty much.
Oh, he's in Vegas.
It was in Vegas.
Okay, yes.
Everything's legal in Vegas. It's a terrible place.
But in all,
That's where my cousins and grandparents live.
Legality-wise, it's awful. It's
My uncle's a cop there.
well, good. Good for him. No. You're taking it wrong. You're taking it wrong. It's like a great place. It's just things slip past somehow.
He's a cop.
I'm not saying
That's his
specifically
job.
him.
All cops.
Everything's getting so like tense. We're like 5 minutes in and everything's tense.
so
It's supposed to be a happy fun time.
okay. Now another question that I have that I think is a very interesting topic is, what is the future going to look like? You always hear people say, well, back in my day or when I was in school, we didn't even have cell phones, internet, computers. So what is the future going to look like? What devices are we going to have, if you can even think of that? Judd.
I think it's gonna be like that movie Wall-E, where everyone's really fat, floating around on a spaceship. And eating. What were they eating?
Slurpees?
Yeah, Slurpees.
I think that was a really interesting part on like the social commentary of what the future is going to be, and you notice that they were all like clearly American too.
America.
This is America's future. Kylie.
Holograms and
Star Wars.
Holograms I think already exist, don't they? Remember
No.
Tupac?
yeah.
They're not like able.
They're
to
not
just
like
go-
actually.
There was, like-
You can't like watch some like a football game like on a thing
like a
with little
3D
hologram people
phone,
like
like a hologram phone almost, where like you
Mm.
have your phone like this
Ah.
and then it like pops out.
That'd be sweet.
Like
Yeah.
holograms would like make lonely people not so lonely, because you could just sit there watching sports, and instead of having a lonely dinner by yourself, you could put a hologram on the couch, and boom, celebrity guest. And you could just be like they'd have recordings. You'd be like, "Isn't this the best Nicolas Cage?" And you'd be like, "Yes."
I don't think
Like
they
you
talk.
could, no, trust me, they would. You could have anyone you want. It'd just be like right there, right now. I'm not lonely anymore.
Wouldn't you realize that it was fake?
No, you just trick yourself. You'd just be like, I want to be lonely anymore, and then you just get Nicolas Cage.
Why out of
Nicolas
out of all the coolest celebrities, you pick like the most hated celebrity?
No, because he did that part in like what was that movie called where they dumped bees in his face, and he was like, not the bees. I don't know.
Oh, the one that no one's heard of.
Yeah, I've never ever heard of that movie. I just know that phrase.
I think you're
didn't know that.
Jaden?
For the future thing, there's like a movie like Cars. No, just kidding. I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's it's like flying cars or something like Man Buck. No, I don't know.
Mhm.
But then and then there's like those flying cars like all over. So that'll be like
Flying cars.
I think that'll be like a legit thing.
What do you guys think about the self-driving cars, like the Tesla now?
Oh, those
They're
suck.
That's terrifying.
They're kind of
Google.
dumb.
They suck.
Okay.
Google's gonna make their own
It's not that I'm a Tesla fanboy or anything, but why do they suck?
Because
And get ready for a fist fight, by the way.
Okay, you know what?
Oh,
There's like, what if somebody walks out in front of the car? It's not like there's like GPS that's like, oh, there's a person. I'm just not gonna run that person over.
There is.
there is.
Censor.
There is.
I watched a video on that,
I
and they
saw
have
a
to be
video.
wearing a certain vest.
I saw a video.
No,
of
right
No,
now
what?
they're testing it.
Lies.
They're trying to fix that.
And the car was coming. The car was coming, and it ran the person right over. It was really funny.
No, I can explain. It's staged. It's staged for money, insurance purposes. Trust me.
But what I'm saying is, self-driving cars, yeah, now maybe a little rough on the software, but the idea of self-driving cars, you hop in your little capsule and you can have your fountain Coke from McDonald's, which is clearly the best kind of soda you can get. The fountain Coke from McDonald's. Well, it's not a conversation; it's fact.
No, it's not.
You could be eating, you could be playing chess at the same time. I
Why
just
would
think
you play chess
But-
in a car?
absolutely.
Because why not?
What about the people who what if everything just died suddenly? And
Okay.
How?
You mean like everything?
I don't
on Earth?
know, maybe lightning struck something.
Doesn't that make it go?
No.
And everything just stopped.
Grace.
Something happened where they had to self-drive again.
Grace,
How-
the
how
car
would we
works
know?
like a normal car. They still have to wear No, wait, maybe they don't. They still have to wear seatbelts and stuff. But lightning striking the car, where they're gonna have an antenna on the top.
Yep.
This is how we produce energy. Just by having lightning strike the car. Tesla's new lightning struck electric cars.
Lightning strike, one word.
Lightning strike.
With the new lightning strike port.
So Ford has a new truck called Velociraptor.
Yes.
I've seen it. I've seen it once, and
Velociraptor.
yes, Velociraptor. It's called the Ford 2016 Velociraptor. It's got a few extra words I forgot, but I saw a really funny post, but I'm not gonna say it, but because people don't get it, they might not get it. But Mr. Waddell probably gets it. And
Why are you looking at me like
Because you're the only one who would get it.
you're looking at me for permission?
it.
It's like, I'm not gonna say it, but I mean, if somebody asked me to, I
But
might.
you know.
I don't know. Nobody's asked me yet. Sealy.
Okay, so back on the whole history thing. I personally think we're gonna go back in time, and the depression is gonna happen all over again, and our technology is gonna go downhill. That's just
depressing.
So you're saying we're gonna repeat the same mistakes, or we're actually going to go back in the past?
not literally, but we're gonna we're gonna repeat the same mistakes, once Donald Trump becomes president, because.
What do you mean? Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Once he becomes president?
Okay, well, it's either him or Hillary for right now, because that's all people care about.
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, Bernie.
No. Did you hear?
Hold on, I'm not finished. Okay, so anyway, but and then he's gonna make if Donald Trump becomes president, he's gonna make everything go downhill, and the cost government
Economy.
stuff. There we go. Is gonna go downhill, and the depression is gonna re-happen.
Very interesting thought.
Can
Genuine
I
concern.
Can I
Yes.
say something real quick? So, there's this new thing that said, you know what they said? It was on CNN and Social Studies.
Mm-hmm.
So, they said if no one can agree on any of the candidates, they might bring in Mitt Romney.
No, that's even.
I'd rather have Mitt Romney than Donald Trump. I guarantee somewhere
agree with that.
Donald Trump has a satanic mark on his chest. He's like I did some crazy stuff in college, and then I got this. And then just wait. I've got a little part to add on. A little part. So Donald Trump is going to start World War III, and he's going to try and use reverse psychology to own China. He's going to be
He does love China.
He's gonna be he's gonna try. What do they have? Do they have a dictator, prime minister, or president? What do
They
they
have
have?
an elected president.
All right, so he's gonna have a talk with the president. He's gonna be China, you owe us, or he's gonna be we owe you so much money, but if you flip that around, you owe us so much money. Therefore, we own you now. He's gonna try and use the worst. He's gonna just use the worst basic intelligence to try and win a country.
Okay. I did not think this was going to turn political within the second episode, 14 minutes into it.
Everything.
But apparently we've got some heated discussion, so I'm going to let it roll. Grace.
Okay, so honestly, I don't think Donald Trump's that bad. He's just a stupid boy who doesn't have any filter. My dad says the same things at home, but he's not broadcasted on camera.
Todd.
He would be very offended if you called him a boy, because then he'd probably call you a girl. Not a woman, he'd call you a girl.
Nolan.
My idea for the future. Are we back to the future?
I hope so.
Okay, so it's just kind of inspired by the micro genre of vaporwave, but my idea is that we're gonna go so far into the future, and then eventually we're gonna start digging up the past, and people are gonna basically think that the 80s and like ancient Rome were at the same time. So we're gonna have like all these Roman busts and 80s music, and it's gonna be like all old. So it's gonna be all like warped and slowed down. And it's like all the that's gonna be the hip thing is.
Well, that's kind of the thing too. Is whenever we think about history, we kind of lump it in. We lump time into two categories. We have the present, within the last 100 years. That's kind of the present, and then we have the past, where you've got pyramids and you've got Rome. And you've got the Norse gods, and you've got, all of these ancient peoples. We kind of lump them in together. But one of the fun facts is that the ancient Romans are as old to us as the ancient Egyptians were to the Romans. So the Romans thought of the Egyptians like we think of the Romans. Like, time is not just a chunk that's back in history. It's a huge, continuous timeline. Yes.
What I think about the future is that we're gonna have like flying chairs, like it's like floating, You're just like sitting around.
How is that
they
more
already have
efficient?
those.
How is that more efficient than just sitting on the ground? If all you're doing is sitting, why do you have to be floating?
You can have like a
It's more
remote
fun because then you go up and down.
I can go up and down right now, man.
Whoa!
Then you can get down.
we do it?
But you can still.
Yeah, but
You
you're
don't have to
actually
use
using
it.
it.
You're happy to go down.
And you can fall down.
Or we're all the way down.
Ryan.
Well, I think the future is going to be like for school is everybody's going to have their little computer, and like if they have a question, they're going to Skype like their teacher or whatever, and everything is going to be online and nothing's going to be up in person.
They don't
so
have
you-
any schools anymore.
So you think even like elementary, middle, and high school is suddenly going to become the online format, and there's not even going to be a school.
Well, what happens to the sports?
What happens to the sports?
There is no
Let's go back to my
Skype
first question.
each other.
Why do people care so much about sports? Just kidding.
Wait. All right. So can I say something?
Yes.
So I have two things to say. So, have you seen Schick Hydro's new Razer commercial?
Oh yeah. You know, Transformer guy.
Yeah. So you said like who said something about like robots and stuff, like some shaving came up in my head because the thing turns into a robot,
As it does.
and then the old Razor turns into a rustier robot,
Yeah,
and
there
they
you go.
fight. And then, but Schick Hydro's gel, what should I say, like gel strip, it smooths the surface of the thing so it slips and breaks in the sink. And then as the guy walks in, it turns into a razor and he shaves with it.
With a hydrating gel reservoir that gives you 40% less friction. So it's designed like no other razor to protect from irritation.
What if it grabbed your face and shaved for you?
So basically, what you're saying is Transformers 5.
No.
Into anything. Like, what if you
That
got...
sounds like a total scene in some upcoming
No.
Transformers.
What if you
Like,
got...
It's a product placement.
But, so, like, getting back to the thing, what if you were, like, in a hot tub, and then this, like, face came up, and a really deep, mellow voice was like, how you like your bubbles?
So you're saying that every piece of technology is going to get consciousness, even hot tubs.
Even if we want, it's like, and like two arms come out the back and they start massaging you.
I'm into that.
And you're just like, yeah, and then it like pulls up Mountain Dew from somewhere, and you're just like, man, I could live in this.
From within the warm, bubbling water.
Hey man, it keeps it cold somehow. Wait, and I have one more thing to say. So
Okay.
you said we are as old as the or something about Romans are as old to us as the Egyptians were as old as the Roman. What about cavemen? I feel like the Egyptians somehow got a mammoth, and then they ate it. like King Tut was like, we need to learn more. What's an Egyptian accent sound like?
I don't think it really exists anymore because people from Egypt now have like kind of a cliche like Middle Eastern Arab sounding accent.
All right, so it doesn't matter. So I guarantee some pharaoh dude or some pharaohess lady, whatever. What would the female version be?
Let's call it a pharaohess.
Whatever, pharaohess. They were like, I want to learn more about those cavemen. Go across the world, get a mammoth from the ice, bring it back here, we're gonna cook it up, I'm gonna eat it.
Okay, what do you mean learn more about cavemen by eating a woolly mammoth?
Yeah, man,
You
you're
know
gonna...
that woolly mammoths are not cavemen, right?
They were in the same time? Kind of, technically, maybe. They like...
Kind of technically,
You sound real confident
No,
there.
no. I've played video games before. They've taught me all I need to know.
He's a video game expert.
No. Miss Hendrickson, don't leave. I swear, it's scientific.
Okay.
Alright,
Humans, cavemen, did not exist at the same time.
No. Homo Neanderthals.
Okay.
They probably did exist. That's what they're called. Don't judge.
But not while
Poor guys.
No, yes.
humans as Egyptians think of, as we think of them.
No.
No. Homo Neanderthals did not exist 5,000 years ago.
No. I swear, I promise that the things that lived during the time of the mammoth, they were human, they spoke language, and they had intelligence.
I
I
agree.
guarantee a species, because mammoths lived for a really long time. Eventually, there would have been a species of human with intelligence that spoke language, and we're just like, oh, that was was not their main language. Grunts were not their main language.
How long ago do you think woolly mammoths existed?
30 to 40,000 years ago.
The last recorded sighting of a woolly mammoth was while the Great Pyramids were being built, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago.
Wasn't it that thing where the little small baby mammoth got cut in the tar pit and then it fossilized itself while the parents died?
Although that exists. Yes, I think in Arizona.
No. It's in Minnesota. I went to a museum like years ago.
In any case, Egyptians are not going to bring a woolly mammoth in and be like, we know about cavemen now.
No, because what if cavemen like stepped on the woolly mammoth? They were like, that's a footprint right there. Like, what if woolly mammoth figured out, or what if like humans figured out like we can hurt that thing by stepping on it, like, and they tied like sharp sticks to their feet, and they were like, yeah. But this is before they figured out that one works, so they had to build weapons and like hunt it down, like yeah, like they'll throw the spears.
Like those.
You know, like, cause stepping on it doesn't work. It's gonna step you back, but it's gonna like cripple you and kill you. But so what if like the tusks were used as like giant like toothpicks, and they were like, yeah, it's meat, and like 4 people had to hold it up, and then like 4 people ate from it, and then they had like consecutive turns of holding and eating, and then they somehow learned more about cavemen through the woolly mammoth meat.
Easy. That wouldn't have happened.
No. So what happened?
Subject.
Jared.
So I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you think Kanye West will run for president?
I can honestly see him running for president, just like, what was it, 2-3 years ago, Donald Trump had the Comedy Central roast, and it was a rumor that he was going to run for president, and everyone's like, that's crazy, that's nonsense, he's ludicrous. And now he's actually one of the front runners.
Yeah,
so
but he's not
will
supposed to be
Kanye
winning.
West, has Kanye West said something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't put it past him. Yes, if he's saying he is, I would say he is.
We'll be allowed to vote for him, or some of us will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're 14,
I'm
you'll be able to
voting
vote
for him.
I'm 4 days late.
Dang.
Mr. Kanye Charlie.
Sealy.
Do you think Kanye West will have enough money by then?
Yeah, there was a thing where he went totally
In
broke.
debt? That was fake. That wasn't personal debt.
No, it was totally real. He
You
was
mean,
like,
will Kanye West have enough money to run for president?
That's what I said.
No, I was verifying.
Oh,
That's what you
okay.
said. You mean for campaigning and stuff?
Yeah.
I think he would have to get a bunch of private donations because I can't see the Democratic Party or the Republican Party. I can't see really either of them wanting to fund that kind of campaign.
because
I
his
don't think he
Yeezy
would-
clothesline is not good enough. They don't respect it enough.
I don't think he would have enough money to do it.
I'm gonna get us back on topic.
Who likes topic?
Is that okay?
No.
Okay, so
No.
the future, like, what do I think will happen? You guys spent the entire time talking about like technology advancing and everything, and I thought that if you think back to history, that's never been replaced, like talking face to face or talking on the phone. Yeah, it's like declining now, But I think the actual talking, like seeing the person's reaction, listening to them, knowing what they're doing, will never surpass like just anything that we think we're gonna do.
Yeah, I think it's super important too, and I think people will come to realize that we need the face-to-face. You need to see people's eyebrows, and you need to be able to sense the aura that's coming off while you're having a conversation.
Just like a podcast.
Yeah, just like a podcast. However, there hasn't been a point in history where we've had something that gave us an excuse to not see each other. Like, it's never been surpassed. Like you said, we've always wanted that face-to-face because there was no other way to have conversation.
Like letters and like codes.
How long has the post been a thing, though? 100 years, if that?
How giving it 100 years to be able to just completely overwhelm regular talking face to face. Like people could be like, well, it's much more practical to send a letter. I mean, I don't need to hear from them right away.
Yeah. So if it's more practical, well,
Why?
let's say FaceTime. If that's so much more practical, why would people choose to do that rather than FaceTime?
Because that's how we are. We need the. It's glitchy. Exactly.
I hope you're right. I definitely hope you're right. Ellie?
Why the eyebrows?
Well, that's
What?
there. I said we need to be able to see each other's eyebrows, and that, I guess that was kind of a weird example. But that's there's a couple hypotheses for why we still have eyebrows, right? We don't, as a species, we have no need to have thick body hair. We still have remnants of it, but there's no use for us because we've invented things like clothing. So why we still have eyebrows is a good question.
Keeps our face warm.
No.
Yeah.
Sometimes it does if you have like a big mustache.
Because, like, if you had a really big beard and cut it off and glued it to your face, that'd be like, why do we need beards? Because you can make a face mask out of it.
The hypothesis is that we still have eyebrows, or we prefer people that have darker, fuller eyebrows because we can distinguish emotion better, and we feel like we trust them. Because if you can't figure out what a person is trying to say to you with body language, you feel a little disconnect with them. And so eyebrows are so emotive. When you're angry or when you're surprised or when you're in pain, you can immediately see what that person is feeling without having to talk to them. And so why the eyebrows, Ellie? Because they are the most emotive part of our face.
Okay.
Well, I know.
Bella.
Finally, thank God. Okay, so back to the future thing. I have two things. Okay, first of all, I think it'd be cool if we had little hard drives in our brain, and every time you wanted to memorize something or learn something new, you'd put a cord in there. And don't ask me out. Okay?
Would it be learning?
I'm not.
Yeah, that'd be cheating on learning. Though.
Okay,
I
well,
would do
it'd
that.
be easier. You guys were talking about how like holograms, how it's so much more efficient to just pop the face up. It'd be so much more efficient to just have that thing in your brain, and then 3 seconds you have 3 chapters.
Would you have the satisfaction, kind of like when you have to struggle to figure out a math problem rather than going to the back of the book and finding the answer, like struggling through it 4 or 5 times and then falling into the rhythm? You take pride in that. Or taking a hobby and you have to work at your craft over and over and over again, and you slowly get better at it. Do you think just instant recalling of a fact, would you find satisfaction in that?
I personally would, because you don't have to do this with all things. Like, you don't have to insert all information, but you could, if you spend less time studying and learning other things, you could potentially, I know that sounds bad, like school is great, but you could potentially go out and do so much more with your life. You could start a garden or go help charity, things like that. If you didn't have to do things.
Completely agree.
Like spend hours a night on your homework.
So you're
like
saying,
that.
yeah, instead of facts, you can acquire skills. And
Yes.
yeah, you can do things rather than learn pieces of information.
Okay, and then
It is past time.
No, wait, I have one more thing to say. Alright, no, Joe can go.
Oh, if you guys have to leave, you can leave. Well, I guess we'll do a couple finishing thoughts. Judd?
Well, this one thing, like, rounding up all we've heard about this, all this self-doing things, this all runs back to us in the morning. Fat people float in the Slurpee. But there's one thing I'd just like to point out about the whole storing stuff in your brain. I have 2 words for that. The government.
Ooh, the government will be able to remotely access what you're thinking. Oh, all right. Grace.
Okay, so you know the old like TV show, The Jetsons?
Yes.
It's kind of like the futuristic version of Flintstones. I think the future is kind of gonna be like that, mixed with cloudy with a chance of meatballs. Because like they're gonna invent a machine that can just like make food out of thin air, and it'll be like, ow.
You can,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. Imagine being able to like illegally torrent or download clothes or food.
Yeah, like McDonald's, like in your car.
Be sweet. Seely, last thoughts.
Okay, so wait, what was it? Do you know who Vermin Supreme is?
Yes, I do. The rubber boot.
Yes!
An opening 2 minutes to Mr. Vermin Supreme.
Thank you. Gingivitis has been eroding the gum line of this great nation long enough and must be stopped.
Okay, that was all. I'm just serious.
All right,
Free ponies.
I'll put up a picture of
Okay,
Vermin
thank
Supreme.
you.
How do you? Okay. Yes.
And to the future thing, people have dogs, okay, but it takes a lot of time to train a dog. Dogs are cute and all, but what if you had a little mechanical buddy that went around and just helped you with your every like day-to-day things, like
making food?
Sure, like he can make food. You could download
Or she.
He or she.
It has a gender. Come here, Roomba. Good boy.
Like I want a little buddy to follow me around. That sounds really weird, but I want a little buddy to help me. You know, like
I'm gonna cut that audio right there and just loop it.
Follow me around. Follow me around.
I want a little boy to follow me around.
No,
I
I
want a little
said,
boy to follow
I
me
said
around.
little buddy.
A little buddy.
Little buddy. Okay.
Either way.
It sounds wrong, but if you think about it, it'd be so helpful. Like, and this might make us more lazy, but if you're sitting in a chair, you know, and you're doing homework or downloading information, like I was talking about before, and then your little buddy comes up, and he'd say you need like a pencil, but you can't move because you're downloading the information. Like
Or
when you're
you're
charging your phone, you can't move your phone from the charger,
Mm.
and so your little buddy would like go get you a pencil or food. Because people love food. Your little buddy go get you food, and then you'd have food, and you wouldn't. It'd be so much easier just to have a little buddy. You could name him like Timmy or Veronica.
Americans
I don't know.
love food.
Could it shop for you?
Yeah.
That would make my life
Shop
so
for
much
you.
easier.
Coburn's does that. Every Sunday.
Coburn's does that. That's true. Okay. With that, we are going to end on the extremely important piece of information and knowledge that instead of inventing a little buddy to follow you around and buy groceries for you,
Go to
Coborns can
Tell
do it
them why
for
we
you.
did this Thursday, not Friday.
Yeah, we had to do it Thursday because we have spring break.
Oh.
All right.
We hope you guys have a wonderful spring break. And we hope to see you wait, when is spring break at?
It's going to be another 2 weeks.
Woo! In 2 weeks. We hope to see you next time.
Have a good time
During spring break.
during spring break. This is Teacher versus Student, episode 2. Adios.
Teacher versus